Hello, it's the Champions League preview. It's John Gibbons with Harriet Prior. And where else could we start this journey but at Anfield, where Harriet, we're going to be back watching the boys in the Champions League. And it feels like there's a lot of these milestones at the moment, isn't it? But Champions League under the lights feels like a really big one to be so excited to be back in the ground for.
Oh, 100%. I actually didn't realise until I was reading earlier that it was the first one back since that Atletico Madrid match. It feels a bit wild because it just feels like it's been such a long time has passed, and you know, we haven't performed in the Champions League as we'd have liked to the last couple of years since that match, really. So I think having the fans back is going to be a huge lift up, and it's going to be a good match. I'm excited. I haven't seen much of AC Milan, especially in recent years, so I'm looking forward to what sort of opposition they'll bring, and it's just going to be great having a Champions League night back at Anfield.
Yeah, absolutely. I can't wait to get in there. I think the atmosphere is going to be electric, and AC Milan just brings a certain sort of star quality. You know, they've got obviously Zlatan up front as well, so we know who's you know the boo boy is already and stuff like that. But you know, it's the name AC Milan just makes you think of European like pedigree, same as us. You know, they've got 7 Champions Leagues, we're on 6, and it's, you know, you fancy that's the game where all around the world people are going, yeah, I'm going to tune into that one and see what happens.
Yeah, definitely. I think with the whole, when the draw happened, people were saying, well, we've got a really tricky group, but that's why you want to be in the Champions League, because you want to play this European royalty, and you want to have these clubs that are coming to Anfield and they're going to put on a good performance and be a good match. I'm looking forward to it. Obviously, there's a lot of chat about AC Milan, how they're not the AC Milan of the past, and they've got a sort of ageing side now. Even, you know, they've got like Giroud up front and stuff, and like you just said, Ibrahimovic stuff. So it's going to be a bit different, but I'm looking forward to it. I think it's going to be a great match. I think it's a good one for the first one at Anfield, sort of ease us into the group. Hopefully it's one that we should win, but it's going to be fiery. That's what I think. It's definitely not going to be a 0-0. I'm not predicting any 0-0s. So
no, it's an interesting one for both teams, because normally, you know, if you were in a group with AC Milan, you know, you'd be expecting, you know, to go through, and so the teams might be sort of sussing themselves out a little bit, or maybe even Liverpool thinking, well, a draw's not too bad a result. But the problem that both teams have is the presence of not just Atletico Madrid, but also Porto as well, who've got a really good record of getting through to the knockout stages. So really, you know, it's a big game for both sides, really. Maybe arguably bigger for Liverpool, because they're the sort of home team and we want to get off, you know, to a good start. But with it being, you know, there's no gimmies in this group. It was funny how we talked about the Atletico game, but I was speaking to an AC Milan fan earlier in the day for our Under the Lights audio show, and we were laughing, saying the last team to knock AC Milan out the Champions League was Atletico Madrid, and so for both,
full circle.
So for both of us, you know, we know the strength of Atletico and what they could sort of, you know, bring to this group, and what they could, you know, the challenge that they'll have, and so for, you know, for both teams, it's a really big game, this one.
Yeah, definitely. It's a huge game, and I think it's going to be a big one in terms of getting the group off to a start on the right foot, and they'll both want to be doing that and wanting to be putting down the mark and looking ahead to the other 2 matches. And like you said, Porto and Atletico, it's a really tough group, and I'd like to think that AC Milan aren't coming to Anfield thinking that this is going to be the easiest one of the group, because I don't think it will be. I think they'll find it difficult, but they'll want to have a good start, won't they? But I have a good feeling. I just think with all the fans back and everything, they can't do much wrong. I think the momentum's definitely going to be on our side. But AC Milan haven't been in the Champions League for quite a few years, have they?
Yeah,
I think
2014, yeah, was the last one. So
yeah, they've got a lot to prove again, and I think they'll all be excited, and they'll all be, you know, this is what they probably aim for quite a few years. Now that they're back there again, they'll definitely be coming with a bit of fire in their bellies.
I love away fans as well for Champions League nights, you know what I mean? The away fans in Premier League are sort of do your head in a little bit. We've all heard the songs, we've all heard the rubbish jokes about sort of Scousers and kind of stuff like that, but when, you know, fans come from Europe, they're so excited to be there. They're all sort of filming You'll Never Walk Alone or joining in and everything like that. They've got all their own songs that you sort of, you know, you haven't necessarily heard before. You know, they'll just be sort of so up for it. They're going to be in that stand behind us, the Anfield Road, which is being sort of developed. So, you know, you'll notice it is a bit of a building site. They're trying to get even more supporters into that Anfield Road then, so we can increase our capacity at 54,000 at the moment up to 60. But for the 2,000 or whatever it is AC Milan fans, you know, they're going to enjoy it. They're back in the big time. They're going to be making rackets. And they do add something extra to these European nights, don't
Yeah,
they?
definitely. I think there's a few elements that make it even better. The first is that they've not been in the Champions League for so long, and the second is that they've not been able to even go on a European away for so long. So even in the Europa League and stuff, none of their fans have been able to travel. So their first match back at Anfield, I mean, they must have been buzzing to get us in the draw, because what a sort of ground to come to and be able to visit and stuff. Is it so it's 2,000? Is it in is that the?
I think, well, it depends, because it depends how many tickets they take. But you'd have thought with AC Milan, with such a big club, as you say, being able to travel at the moment, but also I imagine there's quite a few Italians sort of moved over here over the years and things like that. And so I think they'll have a decent they'll have a decent number of them.
All right, the Reds, thanks very much for getting stuck into that little snippet there of Anfield Wrap content. If you want the rest of that show and much more besides, click the link below, subscribe to the Anfield Wrap Premium, and for that you will get reviews, previews, exclusive interviews, post-match content, the full it. Get involved, follow us, follow them from the heart of Liverpool. Up the Reds.